Question for Lynn. Does the future hold tax increases? And can we expect tax increases each and every year? Crystal ball, I'm sure you
To be honest, I don't have talent I've seen into the future. I've got plenty, but that's just not one of them. Unfortunately, I think there may be a tax increase. I think it's a necessary evil possibly at this point, and you can thank the state for that as well, for all the cuts that we're facing. There's a proposed $900,000 budget cut for the district for next year from the state. That's going to hurt. We're going to have to creatively find ways to get things done around here. But there's a limit to the amount of increase that there could possibly be. Unfortunately, I am not going to be a member of the board whenever the current budget's being established, so I cannot answer that question for sure. But what I can tell you is, when I hear from the current board, they are doing absolutely everything in their power to keep any tax increase that there is at a minimum. And I have to remind you that there has not been one in the past 4 years. So, you know, it's worth it for kids if you have to give a little bit more. That's what I think. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you.
I think I can at least touch on the answer here. If we're asking for percent of taxes and income for the school district, comparatively, I'll call the Ligonier end of the school district, Alta Township, pays approximately 78% of the freight, and I believe the northern end pays about 22%. Let me give you some real numbers. Current real estate for Bolivar is $125,000. To give you a sense. Current real estate for Cook Township, where you're sitting in, is $1.5 million, almost $1.6 million. Current real estate for Fairfield is $1.4 million. Current real estate taxes collected Laurel Valley, $96,000. Ligonier, I believe this is Ligonier Borough, about $1.8 million. Ligonier Township, which is huge, is $6 million. New Florence is $200,000, and Seward is $129,000. So that gives you a feel for where the income comes from in the school district. I believe it's about 70-30%, 70% down here, 30% out the lower valley. So I hope that answers.
Your question, what do you feel will be the biggest crisis that our school district will face in the next few years?
I don't know if you want to call it a crisis as much as change. From everything that we are learning from legislators, from attending meetings with legislators, from the information we receive weekly from ESBA, there are going to be so many changes coming that I personally believe in 5 years, we are not going to recognize education as we know it today. Every time I get information, there's a new Senate bill or a House bill out there, and everybody's lobbying, all the legislators lobbying each other to try and pass the bill. You know, we have Senate Bill 1, which deals with the voucher system. We have school choice. We have the cyber schools. Everybody's trying to get their piece of the pie. Everybody's trying to get their legislation out there. I truly don't know what our biggest crisis is going to be, but I think we're going to be faced with many, many changes. I think the board is going to have to be diligent in keeping up with legislation, as we've been attempting to do this last year. I think we're going to have to think outside the box a lot of times in terms of education, and how the dollars come down from the feds and also from the state. As somebody I think just said, we don't know when the Title Title I monies are coming in, and that's federal. We know our state subsidy is really cut. Typically, the state has never passed their budget in time, which is the end of June. The fiscal year is July 1 through June 30th. So therefore, we are required to have our budget into Harrisburg always by the end of June. Many times they haven't passed their budget. So it's a guessing game in terms of how much money we're going to get. Now, this year they said we're not going to get any extra. But we don't know till the final signature is on the budget by Governor Corbett what is going to happen. Crisis, I don't know if that's the right word, maybe it is. I like to think of it as change, and I think we all have to be adaptable and deal with change as it comes down the road. If you look around this valley, there's been change in education forever. A lot of you sitting down here went to one-room schools. You know, Larry went to school up on the ridge to Fairmont, and maybe I'm not sure where you went. Oh, you went here,
I
okay.
didn't go here, I went to Weaver's Mill.
Yeah, that's right, you went to Weaver's Mill.
Pleasant Grove one-room school.
Right. You know, so in Bolivar, there was a one-room school, and, you know, out in the north, well, then they closed those and they built bigger schools. I don't know where we're going to go in the future. I just don't know. Again, the crystal ball hasn't revealed it to me, but I'm willing to deal with the challenge. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final question before we have the candidates participate in closing statements is for Mr. Tantlinger. The question for you is, prior to the consolidation, when was the biggest enrollment decline?
I can give you the historic district enrollment. In 1970-71, in the district, there was 3,920 students in the district. In 1985-86, there was 2,917 students enrolled in the district. In 2000-2001, there was 2,280 students in the district. In 2010 and 11, there are 1,812 students in the district. We have had a dramatic decline almost every year. There's never been an increase in students. There has been a consistent decline since 1970-71. These are numbers that were developed through the business office and given to us as a board. The question was, prior to the consolidation, when was the biggest decline? I would guess it was from 1970 to 1985-86. We dropped about 1,000 students. From 1986 to 2005, we dropped about 900 students. And this past year, we dropped about 220 students. And the projection on down the line, 2017-18, is that we will have somewhere under 1,500 students in the district. They can chart that out